Jason, you back from Mexico?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, okay.
We're live.
Are we?
Yep.
Do you see us live?
Mhm.
It did the countdown, so I guess we're live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Evan,
we're live.
correct. All right, guys. So we are live. So what's up, Chasten Miles? Daniel Ramirez, Paul Martin. What's up, young hustlers?
What's
Hey,
up, guys?
What's going on?
Man, the next generation right here.
Absolutely.
Chasen just getting back from Mexico. I'm just getting back from Colorado, man. I love it. So, guys, we probably got a jam-packed 45 minutes here. Just love to catch up with the young people in the network. I love to learn a little bit about your guys' business, maybe some victories you've had with EXP. Give us an update. I know you guys have struggled with building this. It's not easy, right?
Yeah.
Building traditional teams and modern teams. So love to be able to extract some nuggets and give some people some actionable steps. I know, Chasen, you have a network and a modern team of 100 people. You also run a great traditional team, huge YouTube star, coach in this industry as well. Love to get your story. Daniel been with me for almost 3 years, since the beginning, since he was like 23 years old, 26 right now. Has a team of right around 90 agents in a modern team and closing houses in 2 countries. We'll kind of get into stories how I met you guys. Paul is building in 2 countries as well right now. So I'm blessed to just be able to work with you guys, but I like to be able to highlight what you guys are doing. And then maybe you guys can also teach me something today, as I sit and listen to you guys. So we're going to start off with Chasen. So I'm going to dump Chasen and Daniel back into the waiting list. And then I'm going to pull up Tierney Jordan. I wouldn't know you guys or be able to work with you guys if it wasn't for her. So we'll catch up with you guys later, but we're going to learn a little bit more about Chasen. So you guys hang tight for a few minutes.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. What's up? We got Tierney Walsh live and direct. Some of my favorite people.
Awesome. Yes, you're one of our favorite people.
What's up, Al?
Man, what's up? I need to get you a Kansas City hat, man. Get that Charger stuff off your head.
Hey, this is not a Charger, man. It's Harry Potter, boy.
Harry Potter.
It is.
It's Harry Potter, man.
Yeah.
But,
So
but I am Chargers. Not
You-
Chargers. I am Mahomes.
sometimes I see you with that Patriots hat on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm blessed to be able to know you guys. Obviously, coached with Tierney for a couple of years before we got in partnership. How I met Chasen was Tierney asked me to come down to Dallas and actually do some coaching. I think I was down there running an event with conversion strategies with ISAs and agents. I don't know, we maybe had 40 people in the room or something like that. Chasen came and hung out in the event, and then afterwards we got to learn about each other's business and like a little happy hour or something like that afterwards. Tierney definitely told me a lot about you, and she just told me you were a YouTube star, you were slanging a bunch of houses and a young entrepreneur, up and coming. And once I was able to spend a little bit of time with you, I could definitely tell you were a star and going to do big things in this industry. And so it is a pleasure that you chose to be able to partner up with us in this network. And then I just like the impact you're having on your generation and in the next generation. So tell us like how long you've been with EXP. How did you build a modern team of 100 agents? Help us understand like maybe the makeup of your business. Are you a listing business, a buyer business? How do you generate your leads? Are you an internet marketing guy? Are you like SOI? Just tell us a little bit about your journey with EXP, some victories you've had along the way, and then maybe some lessons that we all learned in 2020, because it wasn't easy, even though we all grew. And then maybe give us a snapshot of what's in store with your team and your network for 2021.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
And thank y'all, Tierney and Walsh, for even introducing me to this opportunity. I'm probably going to forget some of your questions, Adam, but just keep me rolling along. But I will say I have been with EXP now for about a year and a half, probably going on. I'm going to make my 2nd year this upcoming May. And it's been a great experience. You know, I've learned a lot. I kind of came in the door though that, I mean, in that mindset of, you know, hey, I already have my business. I already have it kind of figured out. I'm just
Right.
coming over here and I'm just gonna see what it's all about. But it's truly been an opportunity to expose me to a style of real estate that I didn't necessarily know existed, or I didn't know how I would even break into that market. I mean, everything from the rev share and how you're able to impact other agents has definitely been a learning curve for me. I'll say today, like Adam mentioned, my business expands across, I want to say, 26 states, and I have about 100 agents in my modern team, and then I have my local team here in Dallas. We just expanded down to Houston, and we're going to be opening up in Austin here pretty soon. And so it's super exciting, and that's what I love about this company is it allows me to do kind of what I've always set out to do in real estate, but then also do it a new way, and it's been amazing. What I will say that's helped my growth in this company is just providing value. I mean, that's how I've been able to build out the way that I have, just through providing value to other agents. Like Adam mentioned, my YouTube channel. I mean, it's full of value. It's full of me documenting my journey throughout real estate. But I've found that the best way to grow is by helping people, and that's where my passion lies. That's what I've been doing this whole time. Now I'm privileged to be able to do it on a global platform by being at this company and actually have a more personal relationship with people. You know, YouTube is great, but it can kind of just be one-sided. You know, they're watching you or you're putting the content out there, but actually having those closer relationships has been phenomenal.
Right. Yeah, we are in the relationship business when it comes to building, traditional teams and these modern teams. Now, how long were you in business before you joined EXP? Because I know you already had a team, you were doing well, you were happy actually where you were at. That's what you told me the day I met you. So
Sure.
how long had you been in business at that time?
Yeah, so I had been in business 6.5 years at that time.
Okay. So in 6.5 years, you built a team of 5, built a great foundation, you built a coaching company. I love what you said, because that's exactly how I've built this thing, is really with the law of reciprocity. I've really helped a lot of people over the years, and I really didn't ask for anything in return. And through that process, when over the years making these deposits, when I went and asked for some attention or for somebody to give me some feedback or take a look at this or see if we'd be, a good match to partner up and drive revenue, would you be open-minded to this? And almost 100% said yes, right? And so kudos with you with leading with value over ego. You're definitely one of the most humble young superstars that I know of. It's a pleasure to be able to work with you. So then you went on 6 years, then you move over to EXP. What did you have, 5 or 6 agents at the time?
Yeah, so my operation was pretty small, and it was more so just the people who I had supporting my business. So my transaction coordinator and assistants and things like that, more of a small time team just to support everything that I had going on.
Okay.
And then yeah.
So you launched with EXP, and so you're almost at your 2-year mark, or you are at your 2-year mark?
I will be in May.
In May. Okay. So a little under 2 years, you went on and added right at 100 agents. And then how many markets did you say you were in?
25 across the U.S., including Hawaii and Canada. A couple in Canada as well.
And you boil that down to one core value, you think it is leading with value and building, healthy relationships?
Yeah, Adam, because what I found just being a business owner, no matter how, especially in real estate, no matter how good somebody wants to make their business look, there's always a pain point in there.
Yeah.
There's always something that can be improved on. There's always something that's not working. And it was kind of the same that Tyranny presented to me. I mean, I thought that I had a great business, but my problem was my blockers were on, and I didn't really see that I was kind of at hitting the glass ceiling. You know, I didn't really see that there was more opportunity out there besides what I was already doing. You know, I mean, we're just trained to come in this business and sell homes, and not necessarily to become true big business owners with retirement plans, with investments, with all of that. And so even I had a pain point and I didn't even realize it.
Right.
You know, so doing the same thing to others
Yeah.
has been opening those doors for those new relationships.
You know what? I've coached hundreds of ISAs and agents, and developed teams for myself and in the network, but also outside of the network. When before I was with EXP, everyone has a blind spot, and even if your numbers look good, most people struggle with profitability. That's why I tell them, yeah, EXP is not the cheapest brokerage, is not the most expensive. It's the most profitable if you're a producer. And also then you maximize all the pillars and start building something, for yourself and your family. So good job with that. And I would say that what you are actually teaching is valuable information. You have 3 million views on YouTube specific to real estate training.
Yep.
That is just crazy to me. When I first learned about you and we started talking, I would drop videos on YouTube. It'd take a year, 2 years to get a video to 3,000. And when Tierney told me about you, I started watching your YouTube channel. And I can't remember if it was right before I went to Dallas and met you or right after I got back, but I started paying more attention to your channel. And I remember you did some listing agent training or role playing because you're big with very, strategy and tactics and giving people, word tracks and systems and things like that. And you basically role played your listing presentation, was coaching a couple of your guys up, and you uploaded a video. And I went and checked it out like 2 hours after I got the alert, and you were already at 3,000 views, man. So the people are watching. So the value you're delivering is definitely spot on. Kelly Wheeler said he's a YouTube killer. So, keep it up. Now, we've talked about some of the accolades, some of the things that you have achieved, since moving your business over to EXP and, allowing your brand to sit on top of EXP's platform. There's a lot of hype with EXP, and rightfully so. Like when Tierney and Walsh move into their mansion and they call me and tell me, they had $1 million worth of stock and this company's changing their life. Like that's real things to be excited about. But Tierney's growth has came with pain. My growth has came with real problems and pain that I've had to solve, and I'm solving them on a different level to help you guys solve them when you get to the level that I'm at. So maybe give us some of the ugly that you experienced with EXP, or some of the cons, or some of the problems that you had to solve, or constraints you had to remove to get your business to 100 agents. If you have another, young, Chasten watching you right now, like what would you tell that person to not make them same mistakes if they're going to grow with EXP?
Sure. So I'll start at the beginning and I'll kind of work it through to today, but it won't be long, trust me. So one of my biggest struggles at the beginning was I had to kind of redo my business and redo my business plan. It's kind of that sense of, okay, now you have a new product, market it, or now you have a new avenue of making money. Like how can you build something out of that? Especially, like I said, I had an existing business before, and of course I was dealing with those limiting beliefs of I don't have time, and no, I don't have the bandwidth, and all of that stuff. So I had to personally overcome those struggles, right? And it wasn't until I went to an EXP event. This was after I had already joined the company. It wasn't until I went to an event and like I really saw what people were doing in their businesses under this new model, and that blew my mind and it lit a fire. So one thing that I like to coach people on, especially these days, no matter what firm they're at, is knowing that there's more to real estate. And that was something that I didn't really think about. I mean, I had my YouTube channel and then I had my coaching, but that was all outside of my real estate business. I didn't know like how I can take this same business and add 2 other income streams to it, still doing the same things that I'm doing day in, day out. So getting people to know that there's more out there has been a struggle as well. So one big thing that I'm always preaching in my coaching is transitioning over to truly being that business owner instead of just being an agent. Because an agent to me now is like being a cashier at a store.
It's an employee mindset still.
Yeah.
It's an ownership mindset. Yeah, you're absolutely
so-
right. Yeah, let me actually stop you right there, because there's a big piece that you mentioned right there that can literally change the trajectory of someone's life, their bank account numbers, their relationship maybe with their family, the wealth in terms of time, like not money, that they're able to buy back. You know, yesterday was my 3-year mark with EXP. And it's been a fun ride, but I feel like I've been here 10 years. Like that, when you're growing as fast as you're growing, it is fun, but growth is painful. And I almost didn't go to the mastermind down in Puerto Vallarta 3 years ago. And Jeff and Brent were like, no, you're coming. I'm like, no, I have to do all these things to be able to get my business to go live with EXP. Brent said, I'll pay for your hotel. Jeff said, I'll get you there. You're coming at all costs. I got there and I got in the room around Gene Frederick, Rob Flick. There was like 50, 60 of us in there. Changed my mental model because I was looking at it all wrong. And I came back, and Tierney and Walsh went with me. I invited them to that mastermind. I'm like, hey, you guys call me crazy saying I'm having a midlife crisis, all this stuff. Why don't you guys come down here and get some midlife crisis too? So if anything, because they were perfectly happy. If anything, I said, you know, to be a good vacation for you guys, right? In all seriousness. But I came back fired up, and that mastermind changed my life. So if I'm thinking about the mastermind that you're talking about, Gerbic almost didn't go to a mastermind. I got him to one. It changed his stuff. But I remember I had an extra ticket or an extra room or something, and I was looking at who in the network is a young up-and-coming star, but they haven't heard or seen the right information yet that our masterminds access. And so I got you to that mastermind. I think it was another one down in Mexico. And I remember after that, you came back and you were just on fire. So you know, I appreciate you accepting the invitation, but more importantly, I appreciate you pausing your business to sharpen your saw. You know, what Abraham Lincoln, one of his quotes said, you know, if you give me 8 hours to cut down a tree, I'm going to spend 6 of those hours sharpening my saw. And so as well as you're teaching and leading with value and helping others, you're still staying a student as well. So
absolutely,
those masterminds will change your life. Get your people to them, and you never know what they'll glean from that. And then boom, they'll be exploding, expanding just like you are. Man, we're kind of pressed for time. We got a couple other young entrepreneurs, man. Like, what other parting shots of value that you want to leave with us, man? I'm super proud of you. 27 markets, 100 agents in less than 2 years. You're coaching your butt off, man. You're really you're really leading with that kind soul and spirit that you normally don't see with somebody as successful as you and as young as you. So I appreciate the humbleness. I appreciate your kind heart. And more importantly, I appreciate your leadership, man, because this is what makes all this stuff work.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for having me.
Cool. You good then? All right, cool. Appreciate you, Chasen. Much love, brother. All right. Who else we got on deck? What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
Oh, Paul. Man, Paul, you got $1 million smile, man. What type
Hey,
of
well, $1 million smile.
Yeah, you muted yourself or something, Paul. I muted you on accident. All right, so what type of toothpaste you use?
I say I got $1 million smile because I used to model for Colgate. That's why. I'm joking. I'm joking.
All right, so we're gonna kick off with Daniel on the Young Hustler series. Daniel is, when I think about Daniel, he's very special to me because he is one of the early people that came in through Tierney's network. I think Daniel is 26 years old right now. I think, as I mentioned, I think I met Daniel when he was 23. He was an agent on Tierney's team. Full of ambition and dreams and vision. Broke off, started doing his own thing, joined our network, and I started meeting him at masterminds. When I talked just a few minutes about showing up to masterminds, you're showing up to rub shoulders with the top team builders in the world, right? Hang out with them, at dinner tables or around the pool or or in the conference room, whatever it may be. And what I've always appreciated about you is you ask questions. Like, you don't get around very talented older people and get nervous or scared. Like, right before we just went live here, you were listening to Jim Rome. Like, if you guys don't know who Jim Rome is, big like motivational guy, philosopher. And so you're always studying, you're always asking questions. And so you showed up to every mastermind. You've been with us almost 3 years. You're right under 100 people in your network. You're building a good business. I wish that I had 100 people on my team when I was 26 years old. Like, I wasn't even in real estate yet. You're closing houses in 2 countries right now. You have a line on fire in Ontario, up there in Toronto, Canada. And so congratulations with all that. But I'm gonna ask you the same thing. Like, I know that this hasn't been easy with you. I've helped coach you. We all get into slumps. We all get down. I know I'm talking about the victories, but if another young entrepreneur is looking at you and they're like, how can I, start selling houses in 2 countries, or how can I build a network of like you and chasing 100 people, right? Like what were some of your struggle points, and what were some of the problems you had to solve in your business? Maybe mentally, because this is usually a head game that we're playing, or maybe it was a cash flow deal with lead generation with your business. I don't know, but welcome, help us out, man. How's your journey been? Give us an update.
We appreciate everyone. I think it's one of the biggest things for me was connecting myself around the right people. I feel like I'm still in a growth journey, and I'm in a position of leadership, whether I like it or not. So I kind of had to step up to that plate. Along that, still be able to follow other leaders when it's needed. So I think one of the things that you had told me a while back was, you got to learn to walk before you can run. And I think that's something big for other agents who are getting into the business. Just getting the mental right as well, because there's so many things that you're balancing outside from being an agent. Being able to grow other people, grow yourself, keep in touch with your families, your physical lives, spiritual,
right,
and keeping your finances on track. So a lot of people get into this business for time and money, and that's the first 2 things that we give away as agents. So.
Yeah, whenever I had a lot of time, I didn't have a lot of money. Whenever I had a lot of money, I didn't have a lot of time. I mean, without a doubt. And being able to take care of your mind, body, and soul is so important. I mean, I remember right before I pivoted over to EXP, I didn't know I was unhappy. I didn't even know I was unhealthy. I was carrying a bunch of weight. I was, drinking more than I probably should. I wasn't present at home. So there was a lot of things that I had blind spots with, that I had to work with other people in EXP to help me out with, and so for you to actually work through some of these things. And when I look at you, you're still becoming a man, if you ask me, without a doubt. And so taking on all these responsibilities and me knowing your story, and you have one hell of a story to actually tell. We won't get into too much of that today, but that story, as you learn to hone that story and you continuously grow your business, is going to change a lot of people's lives that are going to be able to connect with that story as well. I always appreciate people that, aspire to be more. And I can remember before I bought my boat and committed to the lake house, which I actually got under contract right now, guys. So a lot of you guys know what's on my vision board and, my big why and why I've been doing it, to buy back time to spend it with my son and, create memories. It's not about the money. But I can remember, telling you I was looking at that new Corvette, right before it came out. And I was thinking about, tricking off a little money because, I've reinvested back in my business and rental properties, and I haven't really spent anything on myself yet. So I come back in town and, a month later, I see you on Instagram. You went out and bought a brand new Corvette and rolling that thing off the lot. And I hit you up and I said, dude, what are you doing buying a new Corvette? And you're like, well, I listened to you because you said you haven't did anything for yourself in a while. And when I asked you like what was going to be maybe your next big purchase or what was on your vision board, you said you wouldn't put that on yours. And so then you went and did the same thing to keep you motivated, right? Or to basically, inspire you to go out and make more money and keep building, right? Like not become complacent, but you visualized yourself doing it. And so good job with that. You talked a little bit about the mental game with this, maybe help me understand how you help guide or lead people that could be going through a mental slump or maybe a sales slump in the network. Like, what's that look like in terms of your leadership within your network?
So what I've normally seen is that agents that don't plug in kind of tend to drift and, get themselves into things that aren't really, things don't really matter to what the goals that they've had, So I guess the big thing is, just keeping to a routine, being able to work out daily, read continuously, educate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to a lot of, especially with what's it called? With a Clubhouse. It's amazing. It's an amazing app. I'm able to just plug in, listen to a lot of great leaders talk, just consistently.
I mean, last weekend I found myself listening in on Clubhouse and talking on Clubhouse till like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I remember like you and I was in one of the same groups or speaking up or something, and you were texting me. It's a phenomenal app. Go download it. I'm definitely spending more time on it. But more importantly, you're going to be able to connect with other people you normally would never ever be able to talk to or listen to unless you're coughing up big coaching dollars. So good for you. With that, but also staying a student, and that's what Chase and I talked about. You're always hitting me up. What book are you reading? What are you listening? What are you listening to? And so you're always asking those questions to me. So yes, I'm going to ask you, what are you reading right now?
So right now I'm reading The Ride of a Journey. The Ride of a Lifetime. It's about the CEO of Disney, and him kind of just stepping into that role of CEO. Lessons that he learned as a leader and business owner, and but I flip through a lot of audibles as well. I'm actually day 10 of my 75-day hard. So when I do my 45-minute workout outside, I also audible during that time, and I just kind of rotate different books. I'm also listening to Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson.
Well, it's
So
25 cents now, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, so I like it, man. So, but you're always, and I'm glad you're hitting the hard 75 again, because I know you fell off the wagon a few times. I've never finished it either. I got to day 69, and I took another shot at it. And got it to day 70. So it is hard. So, but it does discipline you, and it does get you back on track. Coming out of the summertime, I played the most with my business than I've ever played in 10 years this last year. I took off a little bit in the wintertime, but then going into this last summer, about that boat. I enjoyed time with my son. The business has doubled. I'm blessed to be in business with great people. And I've always had this anxiety where I'm never doing enough in real estate. My first 3 years, I never took one day off until I went to Mexico and took a vacation. And I go on these sicknessing runs. And if you guys know anything about a disc profile, I'm a high D. So high Ds never think that they're living up to expectations, or they think that they're letting people down, or if I feel like if I'm not working hard, then people are going to judge me. Right. And so to be able to work through those mind games that we play on ourselves, it's like, why I do what I do. It's not, to create financial freedom, which that is awesome. Right. And have all these different income streams, but it's to be able to buy back my time. Because that's the finite resource that we can't replace, right? I can go make more money. We can sell more houses. We can build the team bigger, but you have to be able to stop and smell the roses. And, there's some personal things that happened in my life that God really checked me on. I had to check myself on to become a better father, a better leader. And it's all just part of growing up, and evolving. But other than the mental game that we play on ourselves that you said you have had to struggle with, but that's part of it. Like, I didn't become self-employed selling insurance till 24, and I had a lot of ups and downs. Is there anything else like you think that any other young entrepreneur watching could maybe, like, what would you say they need to implement? Like, what's an action step that they could take? Or help us, maybe with some helpful insight to avoid a pitfall that people could fall into. One of the things that Mark Benefield always says is when people become successful, and especially when I was young, we quit doing the habits and the behaviors that got us there, and then boom, we're frustrated again. We have anxiety. Our back is against the wall. We're in survival mode. Is this right for me? Could I be doing something else with my time? So maybe give us some tips of how to work through some of that stuff or to implement to avoid a pitfall.
So I'll say for me, I've been self-employed since I was 18, and I think I've gone through a lot of maturity, and still am going through that maturity as I'm growing into the man that I will be. I think with that is failures are going to come, and I think how you handle failures. If you quit, it's getting back up, learning from it, continuing to evolve, like you said. Just that maturity piece for me has been kind of detrimental in my 20s. I'll say, especially, if you kind of look at as an entrepreneur, I made a lot of money, I spent a lot of money. I'm starting to understand the financial world, raising my financial IQ. And just learning things about taxes, learning how to invest. I know that, again, we make a lot of money, but also it's knowing how to invest it, how to spend it, how to save it. I think those are one of the biggest pieces for me that I would tell other people to, just be conscious and aware and continue to grow, continue to look up to others. But yeah, just that maturity piece really for me.
Here's one piece that I'm actually gonna highlight that you're articulating, and it took me a while to figure this out. It's easy to make money, and why we can make a lot of money. I mean, right now, residual income checks and the amount of houses we're selling, it's gonna keep. I can't stop this modern team that we've built, and everything that we have going on. And so even if I quit working and don't work the rest of this year, I'm going to be a top 1% earner in real estate team building globally, and not even work. But it's not the money we make, it's the money we keep. And I probably about 5 years ago picked it up from Grant Cardone. It's like, you have to keep yourself broke. And I almost didn't understand that, because you're not going to save your way to success. If you got a bunch of money sitting there, you're going to go buy a Corvette. You're going to go buy a boat. You're going to go buy liabilities, right? And so what I'm trying to do right now is keep myself broke in both of my businesses. And as fast as I can get the money coming in, I'm trying to get it into an asset or out of my hands, right? Where my money can start working for itself, or I can start building some equity in something. So, for an example, the Airbnb, I could have bought a smaller lake house, right? And it would have been financially, the way I was looking at it, better. Like just going out there, get away, do my thing out there. But then I started looking at it from a business aspect, and I'm like, I could offset my costs and start building some equity if I just bought a bigger house and turned that into a business, not just a liability for my play. And so instead, I waited a year. A lot of you guys know I've been, I wanted to buy over the last couple of years, is on my vision board. I'm very transparent with my finances and my vision and stuff like that. So I waited another year and I changed my strategy. And so I ended up getting 6 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2 living spaces, 2 kitchens, 1.5 acres, 2 big garages, RV doors, the boat dock, the lift, everything. Because when I'm not there, I have the best Airbnb in that cove, and I probably have the best Airbnb in the surrounding 3 coves from the research I did. And so, yeah, my payment might be $3,000, $4,000 a month. But now when I'm not there, I'm gonna be able to rent it out for $800 to $1,000 a night. You know what I mean? And so, what is normally going to cost me about the same amount, probably if I can break even or whatever with it, or end up having to invest a little bit of money into it, it would be about what a small house would cost, right? But, I put 20% down. It was a large chunk of money, but I'm getting it tied up in an Airbnb. And now I'm going to be building equity on a very large property. And so that, you just talked about some of the money management. It's easy to make money, but just keep yourself broke, but get your money into assets or in a situation where it's going to be able to accumulate for you. All right. I love that, man. Most 26-year-olds are not thinking about that. Most 26-year-olds don't have a team of right under 100 agents closing homes in 2 countries. So I'm proud of you, man. Being around all these superstars and seeing what you are, you're always gonna feel like you're never enough. I feel like I'm never enough. As much as a lot of people in our network love our my results and trying to duplicate what I have going on. I'm trying to duplicate what Gene Frederick's doing, Rob Flick, Jeff Willems, all these other big people I'm chasing down, right? And so it's okay to wake up every day, and apply yourself to the best of our ability, but don't let it get you down like you're not enough, because you're chasing something that is elusive and it's a personal growth deal, right? And so your income will never outgrow your personal development. And so keep that in mind. So I love that, man. So I appreciate you. Stay a student. Keep listening to Jim Rome like you were listening to. Be able to internalize that stuff, allow it to change your life, but let it flow to others to be able to change their life like you changed Paul's life. And that's a good segue into Paul, because I met Paul through Daniel. And so Paul's a very special human being and spirit, if you ask me. And so, I was going down, I think I don't even know if I was going down there to do some training down in Dallas with you guys, or, you know, my sister lives down around there in Denton area. So I don't know if I was down there visiting family or something, but I know Daniel was trying to talk to Paul about some EXP stuff. Paul's an investor, been in real estate a while. He's kind of like, yeah. So we had this very short window of time to be able to meet. And we met in an undisclosed location that I'm not going to disclose on a live, but we met at a location, and it was like the only time and really the only place that was a halfway point to be able to meet. And I'm like, screw it, I will go anywhere and get a damn deal done or change somebody's life. So I did what I normally wouldn't do, and then we went, and I got to spend some time with you, and I got to understand, you know, like, you know, your visions and your goals and what you were trying to do. And then I'm like, man, like if you kind of just change a little bit of your strategy and align with this network, you're going to be able to extract all of that plus some. So, you know, I came back home, and I think a couple days later, Daniel texted me and said, thank you. Paul's, you know, smashing and hitting that join button. You know, Paul's went off and built a great business. But more importantly, Paul will make connections like no other. You know, I was going up to, Toronto, and I was running strategic growth acceleration events up there. I had already had a team up there, and the network was growing. And then Paul's in Dallas. He's like, hey, I want you to meet my girlfriend. I'm like, I'm going out of the country. He's like, yeah, my girlfriend lives in Toronto. I was like, oh, really? And so she came and see me speak at one of the events, and she's an entrepreneur in her own right, a very successful, strong woman. You know, as the time has went on where I've got to know Amanda more, like I appreciate her more and more, put it that way. And so she hopped on board with us, but she's got me around some big players in Toronto with Ron. Ron's commented on here. You know, he running one of the biggest independent groups up there, attracted over 300 agents and done phenomenal things. And she was able to make that connection with me and him. And he's going to end up being the next big thing up there. And so that's just that's just cool how all that stuff works. But, you know, tell us a little bit about your journey, how long you've been with EXP, because I can't really remember. I've highlighted some of your victories. Maybe you can enhance them, but what have been, you know, some lessons that you learned this last year? And then what can we expect going into next year too from your guys' network?
Yeah, for sure. I'll say I've been with EXP just over 2 years. So 2 years and 2 months, I think. And I actually just started to really grasp the power of building a real estate business. And at the end of, towards the mid of 2019, that's when I really started to go all in.
Mm-hmm.
And, right now, last year we did, well, in 2019, we did 7 transactions. In 2020, we did 73.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we have.
So you're going from 7 transactions traditionally, because you have other income streams and doing other things, to 73?
73.
Yeah. I don't know what percentage growth that is, but can somebody give me a ratio on that? Like, that's amazing growth.
Yeah, it's 949% growth.
I like it.
700%.
And right now, this month, we have 36 pending and closed. So far this year, 36 pending and closed. So, you know, we're already almost half of what we did last year. So that's basically where we're growing right now. So I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned, what made me really, that switch go off really, was maybe like the last quarter of 2019. I was doing a lot of personal development growing, and I was reading a lot of business books. And I'll tell everybody to read this book. It's called E-Myth, Real Estate Agent. So E-Myth is a very, very successful, highly recommended small business book. Basically it's about business, but they had a spin-off version for real estate agents. And the principles in there really changed the way I see the world and how I operate in it.
Right.
So that's what I'll tell everyone to read. Basically, it's basically saying, what's the difference between a real estate agent and a business owner? Because there's 2 different mindsets. So I just chose to switch my mindset to the business owner, and that's leadership, development, inspiring, and growing the business.
I like it, man. You carry yourself like you're a little bit older than what you really are. How old are you again?
29.
29. I like it, man. I mean, I didn't get into real estate till I was 28 or 29. So some of the momentum and the opportunities that you guys have and what you guys have currently already done, it goes back to, I know you guys think you should be doing more and you feel like, you know, you're probably slacking behind other people, but it's personal growth. At 28, I was just getting in real estate. At 28, I was making $300 a week, hammering through expired and FSBOs, making $100 per appointment, setting 3 or 4 a week. So Tierney did what Gerbic did for me. She's getting you in rooms with people that you're going to be able to really expedite your growth, right? And and a lot of people like, you've only been in real estate 10 years, Adam, but you have a resume of a veteran. I would have never been able to do that if somebody didn't put me in the right room with the right people. And that's what Tierney has done for you guys. And you're going to look back 10 years from now and you're going to be just as blessed as I am and thankful that she did that for you guys, because you guys are sitting on one hell of an opportunity and you guys are doing phenomenal stuff, but you're all staying a student and you guys are all like-minded. You know, you guys kind of think the same, you look at things the same. And there's a difference between, and I deal with this all the time. I dealt with it with even yesterday with a text message with somebody, or even this morning. They're looking at it all wrong. And I'm like, well, I'm not a recruiter. I get in alignment with people that I love working with. I look at like Tierney and Walsh like family. I enjoy taking their calls. You know, I'll take their calls whatever I'm doing. I'm out with friends. I'm in a professional relationship or just out having fun. I'm always going to take their calls versus like, oh, here they're calling again. I'll just get back with them at like 10 in the morning tomorrow or something like that. And so kudos for you guys for building your tribe. And thank you for helping Ron. I mean, Ron is going to be a powerhouse up there. He said he leans on you a lot. I shared that on the screen. So to be able to be pulling this caliber of people in your guys' network internationally and what is coming, sky's the limit for you guys. So I'm proud of you guys. So, you know, any other parting shots from you guys? I wanted to keep this under 45 minutes. I do maybe want to ask Tierney for some of her thoughts or Wash's thoughts on here. But as we wrap this up, but I just want to say I appreciate you guys. I couldn't be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for you guys. You know, like you know, Tierney made me look good over the years. I helped her make herself. I helped as much as I could make her look good, and now you guys are making her look good and me look good. And so I appreciate you guys developing to great leaders, but more importantly, you guys are growing into strong business owners and men. And you're not looking at this like this is an employee mindset, or I'm just an agent, or me, myself, and I. You're really looking at it as, you know, ownership mindset and what can I do for others? You know what I mean? And how can we scale this up? So I just appreciate you guys, man. I got a lot of respect. Paul, you've really gained my respect a lot over this last year as well. Because when people come in the network, a lot of people say a lot of things, and there's just a lot of talkers and a lot of bullshit out there, quite frankly. Execution is worship to me. You execute, you know, I'll run miles with you. You know what I mean? Like, and over the years, like I was quiet when I was building until like I started making, we're going to sell 1,000 houses. And then I got loud. But the thing is I talk shit because I execute. I work my ass off. I know publicly I put it out there. I'm speaking that thing into existence. I'm manifesting that stuff. And so I just appreciate you more that I get to know you. I appreciate your girlfriend a hell of a lot more. Even Walsh, like when I, you know, talk about Amanda early on, or people judge things, you know what I mean? And Walsh and Terry, like, you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, I had to check him. That's okay. I had to check him. I had to let him know my boys was real deal.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So
Ron, I actually lean on Paul a lot too, and Daniel, because I'm just being totally honest. I don't know 10 people in the, well, I don't want to say that, but I probably 25 people in the whole company that knows this model inside and out better than Paul and Daniel. So for me, I'm just so proud to see where they came from. I remember when I first met Daniel. I can see it, you know, I can remember like yesterday. And I remember when I first met Paul, you know, so just to see their growth and see who they are. And like I said, you know, Ron, I lean on them a lot because you guys keep me motivated. You keep me going. And I know both of these guys are going to have over 1,000 agents like within the next 2 years because of the way they're growing and their mindset. And, you know, they just real positive brothers, both of them guys. And I remember Daniel used to always put quotes up, you know, at his desk, you know. So I just look at that and think about, like, you know, him listening to Jim Rohn, Paul always doing stuff, Chaston, you know, it's a blessing to have these type of business partners that you don't have to beg to do stuff. You know, oh man, come on. You know, they pushing us, you know, so it's almost like we stand on their shoulders, we pull them up. Now we're on top of it. Now we're on their shoulders, and we're gonna pull them up, and they're gonna pull us up, and we're gonna continue to do it. So, you know, I appreciate you, Adam, for everything you do, because you know, you keep it going, brother. So I love it, man. I love to see you guys doing what you're doing, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have some young guys like Adam was saying. I wish I was your age. At your age, I wish I could have did what you did. You know, you guys doing right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's really capitalizing on opportunity. Everything is about timing. Everything is about opportunity. And you know, I know, Walsh, when you walked out of, you know, that KW Market Center, when you were happy, and you know, Tierney said, you were like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Like, we have you guys had a big offer on the table to you know, gain some cash flow and equity and an ancillary service with that company." And Tierney's like, "I want to work with this guy," and I think they're onto something. So I appreciate you trusting your wife and her trusting me. And I told her the other day when I saw your beard, I was like, "Walsh, did you have any gray hairs when we started this journey? Because you got a lot."
I did. I used to just die, man. Hey, I'm gonna put that out there just for men. Y'all need to hire me.
Yeah. So we've been through some things, man. So I like it. Gosh, what did you say in the beginning there? Sorry, I just totally forgot.
Well, I mean, one thing I like about them, they both got blinders on. You know, they blocking out all the crap, because there's a lot of crap out there. But they looking at, you know, I mean, I don't want to put Daniel business out there, but hey, I'm gonna put it out there. Daniel got over $100,000 worth of stock. I mean, come on, how many people do you know have 100,000 saved? People, period. I don't care what age. This guy has $100,000 stock, and so, you know, he's blocking out all the noise, all the crap that's coming, and like, you know what? I have built something strong, and I'm not getting rid of that. And you know, this is the biggest opportunity we ever had in our lifetime in real estate. So, and you know, we have the innovator, we have the person, we have the people that's going to keep this company going to a whole nother level. And these guys seeing it and they getting it. And look at them. I mean, 26 and 29 years old. I mean, they're 40. I'm 48. I don't even want to see what they. I mean, I already know what Paul's gonna have, and I know. I mean, Daniel just went and got a Corvette. He's probably gonna have an Aston. Well, I won't say an Aston Martin, because that's not a McLaren or something.
Stay broke, guys. Stay broke. Tierney, what do you got for us?
No, I'm just grateful. You know, like Walsh said, we've continued to uplift each other. That's the blessing of the model at EXP. We're in financial alignment. So the culture is we continue to help each other grow, because at the same time we're growing. So I appreciate Daniel. I appreciate Paul, Chasten. You guys push us, and y'all are creating an example, not only for people who are younger, but people who are older, because you guys have surpassed people that are older than you, people who have been in the business longer than you. You've surpassed them. So I appreciate y'all. I'm excited for the future. And we're growing. I mean, we're in the US, Canada. We're about to launch in Mexico and India through these guys, through these two young guys, you know, 4 countries, probably, you know, in this first quarter of the year. So excited for what's to come. Grateful for your partnership. I lean on Paul too, because Paul is a studier. You know, he's if that's a word, he studies all the time. And I'm like, let me call Paul. If he knows everything. He keeps us all in alignment with the vision, because I know Daniel, me, we're out here hustling, grinding, you know, closing deals. Paul's keeping us all in alignment. So
I like that, Tierney. You actually reminded me what I was actually going to say after Walsh spoke, but because what he said in the beginning, a lot of people get into EXP for different reasons. We all know that, right? But here recently, I got to thinking, because I'm growing super fast. I'm super blessed. You know, my business can run without me. And I had somebody ask me if I was going to lock in, because there's a new lock-in with EXP where you can damn near retire. And somebody said, "Hey, you're getting pretty close to some very, you know, substantial numbers. Are you going to lock in and play it safe and just go enjoy life?" And I'm like, you know what? You know, that's funny you would ask that, because you're like the second or third person to ask me that in a 10-day period. And I'm like, no. You know, there are people joining with EXP and building, and they're building into their retirement. But for me, when I look at you guys and how I've been able to reach down and impact your guys' life, you guys are still going to need help when you're pulling up that next generation. And so we're all about growth right now. And we're not trying to play anything safe. You know, a lot of people going to Puerto Rico right now, you know, for tax reasons. And a lot of people, you know, they're setting their business up for however they want to set it up for. But for me, I just turned, you know I look younger than what I am, but I just turned 39. I used to be one of these young hustlers. You know, now I'm becoming the vet in the room, the adult. I mean, I guess I got to grow up, but I still got another good year push, at least another good 5-year push at this. You know, I'm just 3 years into this, over 1,200 agents. We're going to be closing houses in 4 countries. Why take my damn foot off the gas and try to go retire? Like, if I'm young and I have energy and I have people that are all like-minded and we have this tight family-like network, let's go get it and get it for generations to come. And you never know whose life it's going to change. And so I appreciate you guys. You know, Tierney, I might drop you for a minute and I'll pull Chasten in one more time. I'll let these 3 maybe just give a parting shot as well, and let these people know how they can follow them or get a hold of them or something like that. But I appreciate you and Walsh, man. I appreciate you for, you know, connecting with me to me with, or getting these guys connected with me. And so I'm thankful for that. So thank you, Walsh and Tierney. So
see you guys.
You guys.
I'm gonna drop her. Chase, I'm gonna pull back. What's up, Jason?
Hello.
All right, guys. So I wanted to keep this at 45 minutes. We're about 5-6 minutes past, but it's good stuff, man. Genuine, authentic. It's your real journeys, you know, your real results, and you know, giving us some tips and tricks and stuff like that. So I like it. I'm just going to let you guys go around the room. Maybe Chasten start off, Daniel and Paul finish. How can people get a hold of you? What's the best way to contact you if they want to network with you, bounce some ideas off you, whatever? Let it, or if you want to drop a last piece of value, go for it, Chasten.
Sure. Yeah. The best place for me, just reach out to me on Instagram. So Chasten J Miles on Instagram. I mean, you can always email me, chasten@foundersre.com, but Instagram is going to be the best place.
Like it. Daniel.
Same here. Instagram. My Instagram handle is Daniel Ramirez, Texas. And I guess for my parting gifts, I just want to say thank you to everyone here. You know, I think one of the things you said, Adam, about, you know, family and, you know, attraction with, you know, getting around with people with similar mentalities. And I've gotten to know each and every one of you personally. And I thank y'all because I do take a lot from you guys on many levels, you know, not just business, but life, relationships, style, whatever it may be. So I appreciate, you know, Adam, Paul, Chasten, like, so much love.
So Daniel, I take it you haven't called me in a while because you've been working on all the stuff that you took from me. I'm guessing that's it.
We're gonna hang out soon.
Okay.
Everybody's got a swipe file, man.
Yeah.
It'll be same here for me. Instagram. That's what I'm on the most. Paul Martin Jr. Jr. As my Instagram handle, and I'll actually give thanks to Daniel for making me look at the opportunity and on me, because honestly I was going very well before I got here, and it's really life changing, to say the least. You know, so I really appreciate you being persistent to making me try to watch the video.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, no doesn't mean no. It just means no at that time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. Follow these guys. These guys is the next generation of leaders. I wouldn't even say next generation of leaders. They're just doing it right now. They represent everything the Just Movement stands for. More importantly, they believe in, you know, family, work ethic, you know, humble and execution. You guys want this? Get off your butt and go make it happen for you, because the opportunity is real, and the time to do it is now. You guys have a good afternoon. Just do it.
All right.